Just waiting for people to join us this morning. Let's give it a couple of minutes, but I'll blather away anyway, just in case anybody wants to watch this on catch up. And yeah, good morning. Hi, Catherine. So if you're watching this morning, send me a message, and if there's anything that you are concerned about or you have any specific issues in your body, just send a little message this morning so I know if I need to be mindful of anything in particular. But good morning. I'm going to teach a really gentle seated class this morning. If you don't already have one, get yourself a chair that preferably doesn't have any arms. I don't know if you can see my chair that's ready to go. Just a chair with no arms, just a dining chair or a kitchen chair. We'll do a really gentle stretch for the whole body this morning. But this space that I'm holding this morning is just as much about finding a little bit of calm and stress free session this morning for you. So we'll do a bit of breathing and a bit of stretching and just some relaxation towards the end of the class. About 45-minute class. I'm just giving it another couple of minutes for people to join us. Grab yourself a chair if you haven't. Yeah, this is a tricky time, isn't it? So maybe we're feeling all sorts of things coming into this class this morning, into this space. Maybe the space that you have in your home is not a quiet place even. I have no idea. And it's very strange not being able to see you this morning. We're not in our usual location where it's just us together. But welcome to you if you're joining us from wherever you are. We'll just make the most of our space. We'll spend the next 40 minutes or so together and try and find a little bit of calm. Just come into that in a place of focus where we can hopefully just try and shut out the rest of the world, even for a few moments this morning. So I'll head to my chair. Send me a message if you're here this morning. I've just realised that I haven't completely turned my phone off, so let's hope it doesn't start ringing and shouting to us during the class. Technology is not my strong point, so yeah, I'm on a big steep learning curve here. Anyway, so here we are this morning. If you can't hear me, just send me a message to let me know, but hopefully it's all working fine and you'll be able to hear me as we move through this class. So sitting on your chair first, let's just find a really comfortable upright position to sit in with good posture. You probably know what I mean when I say that anyway. So sitting slightly forward in your chair, and you can do this whole class seated today. If you're in a wheelchair, that's fine. If it has arms, don't worry, we'll deal with that. And if your feet can be on the ground, flat on the ground, that's ideal. If they're not quite reaching, grab yourself a big book or something just to pop underneath the soles of your feet so that you can sit comfortably and feel that connection between the bottom of your feet and the ground. And then, as I said, just sit slightly forward in your chair so that your spine is just ever so slightly away from the back of the chair if you're able. And you're holding yourself up, giving us as much space to breathe as we can in this central part of our body here. So we'll focus on our breath just for the first couple of moments of this class. And then through the stretching of the class, I want to just focus a little more this week on the arms, the chest, the neck and the shoulders, which I don't know about you, but I'm holding quite a lot of tension here at the moment. It is a place where we can do that if we're feeling stressed. So let's just begin actually by just taking a really big breath in and lifting the shoulders right up to the ears. And then as you breathe out, releasing the shoulders down, not dropping them in a hurry, but just releasing them down, feeling the shoulder blades coming down the back of the body, the shoulders releasing, And as you do that, and we'll do that a few times, just feeling that sensation of tension melting away from the body at the same time. Might be a bit early for you to be feeling that, but let's give it a go anyway. So shoulders up with that breath in. As you breathe out, release them down. Feel that tension melting away as the shoulders come down. Couple of those. Lovely. You can sigh it out. So breathing in through the nose. As we breathe out, a big sigh. Let that tension go. Lovely. And then come to stillness. Just be mindful of how you're sitting upright in your chair. If it's comfortable for you to close down your eyes, feel free to do that. If it's not comfortable for you to close your eyes, just soften your gaze. Look down at the floor in front of you. Have just a really soft, relaxed gaze. And we're going to try by this means to draw our focus just inward a little, away from that outside world, away from whatever else is going on out there, whatever else is going on in your home or in the wider community or the world. Come inward into an inner place, a safe place within yourself. And we will try to leave aside for just the next wee while whatever else has been going on for you in the past or whatever else you have planned for the rest of the day. Just focus on the here and now. So closing down the eyes or softening the gaze, begin to notice how you're breathing this morning. See if already you can send that breath deep down into that lower belly, relaxing all the muscles around the tummy there, allowing your lungs to expand and your diaphragm to drop as it creates more space for your lungs to draw in that fresh air. As you breathe out, relax your shoulders. Maybe a little turn of the head just to make sure that you're not storing any tension in your neck. And see if you can begin to breathe a little more deeply. If you can, it's comfortable for you, you don't have a cold or any other allergies going on at the moment, breathe in and out through your nose. If that's too difficult for you today, don't worry. Perhaps you can hear the sound of your breath. And just focus on that for a moment and what it feels like to just sit in stillness and focus on your breath. We take tens of thousands of breaths every day, and most of them we don't even notice. But whatever else you're dissatisfied with about your body, your breath is always there at the moment. If you're well and you're healthy and you're breathing, let's just focus on that right now. And then begin to notice those points in the breath where the breath changes from an inhale to an exhale. Just at that top point, you might even like to just take a pause there, holding the breath for a count or two before you breathe out again. And then again at the bottom of that exhale, noticing when you've released all the air, perhaps drawing your tummy in a little bit to just push up that diaphragm, forcing all the stale air out of your body before you release that and begin to breathe in again. We'll take a few more rounds of this lovely deep breath, bringing our attention to the sides of our body and the back of our body. Perhaps you can even feel your breath filling up the sides and the back of your body this morning. Coming into this still place at the beginning of our practice is so important. And then cultivating that steady breath that will just see us through our practice this morning. So one more big breath in. And if you like, a sigh out. And then if you haven't already, just begin to softly open your eyes, allowing the light from the room to come back in gently. And then remind yourself to sit up nice and straight in your chair. We'll move through the body stretching quite quickly today, and then focusing slightly more on this upper area, our arms, our shoulders and our neck. So raising one foot, one leg out in front of you, begin to take some circles with the ankle. I like to start a practice almost every week with these exercises from the ground up, just moving through the body, and hopefully that gets you into a pattern where you're able to just change the direction of those circles, a pattern you're able to do by yourself at home. You probably are by yourself at home actually, but I feel like we're connected in some way. So there you go. And then we'll place that foot down, we'll do that with the other ankle, taking some circles around there. Lovely. And then back the other way. If you've never done yoga before, you're joining us for the first time to give this a go this morning, a special welcome to you. You might be wondering if you can even do yoga sitting in a chair. Well, you definitely can. Don't forget to breathe as you're concentrating on something else. Release that foot. Sit back in the chair just with your back and connecting to the top of your chair, sitting forward still, raising out that first leg, or begin to take some circles with the leg. So they can be quite small. Feel into your hip. Notice if there's anything going on in your hip for you. If it feels at all painful, just take a break or take smaller, gentler movements. Stop if you feel any pain at all. Hopefully you'll feel that joint and that leg and these core muscles beginning to warm up, taking these circles. And we're going to take 6 circles back in the other direction. So stop that and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, only 2 more, 5 and 6. Well done, release that. Maybe you can really feel that in the thigh, the hip. Take a big breath in and a sigh out just to release any tension. And then we'll do that with the other leg. So taking some small circles to begin with that leg. Maybe you're really feeling into that hip and you might like to take a few bigger circles just to really find your range of movement there. Slow it down if you do that. Well done. So warming up that joint. Lovely. And then coming to stillness, we'll take 6 back in the other direction. 3, 4, 5, 1 more, 6. Well done. Release that. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. Well done. And then raising both feet out in front of you, draw the core muscles in. Sit up straight, even though your back is against the back of the chair here. You're leaning back. Hold onto the base of the chair either side of you, or perhaps rest your arms on your wheelchair arms. And then flex your feet towards you, your toes coming towards you as your heels push away. Draw the core muscles in, but keep breathing. Point the toes, feet up. And then let's release. Come to sitting up straight. Take a big breath in as we send the arms wide and up. As we breathe out, lean forward in the chair, really stretching forward. Lovely. And then rounding down over the legs, just as far as feels comfortable to you. This might look quite upright for you if you have any issues with your lower back. Just sitting in a gentle, rounded forward fold. Or you might enjoy that feeling of being able to round down over your legs completely, allowing your head and your neck to hang heavy here. Take a couple of breaths. Relax the shoulders as you breathe out. And then slowly begin to walk your hands back up your legs. Come to sitting back up straight again. Well done. Big breath in as the shoulders come up to the ears. And as you breathe out, allow them to relax. Well done. Coming up onto the toes of the feet. You can even give the toes a massage here. If you have your socks off, a special well done to you, really feeling the ground beneath your feet. It's cold in this room. I'm actually in a conservatory here. So I've just got my socks on. But just giving the toes a wee massage against the ground or your big book or whatever your feet are resting on. And then place the feet down. Make sure you're sitting forward in your chair and upright. As much space here in the core as we can. To take a twist to each side here, just gently turning from one side to the other, keeping the movement going, warming up that centre of the body before we do our cat-cows here. And keep breathing as you walk your hands from one side, almost moving your whole body, turning the head slightly, and then coming back to the centre. And we'll take that cat-cow movement for the spine as we breathe in, really opening up the front chest, looking up a little, opening up this space at the front of the body, sitting up really straight. Every time we breathe out, tucking that pelvis forward, drawing the tummy muscles in and rounding down through the back. Drop the chin to the chest. And then keep that movement going with the breath. So breathing in and out to round down. Notice how this feels for your spine, this movement, and adapt the movement accordingly. So it might be that it's just a really small, gentle movement for your spine. Or you might enjoy a really big expansive movement. You can even involve the arms as you breathe in, opening the arms out, really feeling that space in the front of the body. As you breathe in, drawing the arms in, drawing everything in and drawing in your tummy here, hollowing out that central part of you. As you breathe out, breathe in and breathe out. We'll do a few more rounds of that, imagining that each of your vertebrae is moving independently. And really that's what we're doing by this movement, trying to invite as much separate movement into that spinal column as we can, keeping it flexible and helping our mobility as we go through life. Lovely, and then coming to stillness here, we'll take a side stretch. So bringing that left hand to the outside of that right leg. Breathe in to stretch up. If this feels too much for your shoulder, make it a gentler stretch. So just raise the arm a little. Breathe in, and then as we breathe out, and lean over to the left. Trying to keep that right shoulder as open as possible. Space we're making here is in these intercostal muscles between each rib down the right hand side. Imagine that you're breathing into that space in the right hand side, and let's hold that for a few breaths. If it feels too much for your arm, bring the hand down, rest it just on the head. Every time you breathe in, making space in that right hand side of the body. And then inhale back to sitting. Well done. Take that right hand over to the left leg. Big breath in. As you breathe out, lean over to the right this time, keeping that left shoulder open, the chest open, and the space created in the side of the body. A nice few breaths here as you breathe deeply. If it becomes too much for this arm or shoulder, bring that hand to the head. Inhale back to centre, and then we'll take another of those twists, holding it. So sitting forward in your chair, as you breathe in, find as much length in the spine as you can. As you breathe out, turning to the right, bring both hands to the outside of that leg or the bottom of the chair there. Sitting up nice and straight with every inhale, but draw the tummy in. Just giving yourself space in the middle of the body to find that twist. As you breathe out, relax the shoulders and relax around into that twist. If you feel you've gone too far, come back a little out of that. In any event, on your next inhale, come back to centre, take a big breath in and release that. And then we'll breathe in, find length in the spine as you breathe out, bringing both hands this time round to the left. Breathing out, relax the shoulders, draw the tummy muscle in there, draw the navel, your tummy button right to the back of your spine. Big breath in, sitting upright, out to relax into the twist. If you ever feel like you've gone too far into a stretch, release it a little bit. Don't go to a place of pain. It's all right to feel a little bit of discomfort as you hold something, as your muscles work to keep you there. Inhale back to centre. Big breath in, send arms wide and up, look up. As you breathe out, reaching forward, stretching down over the legs. Feel that release for the back. This might be a really uncomfortable place for you, in which case sit slightly more upright, just with a gently rounded spine. And then begin to walk the hands back up the leg, uncurling the spine as you come to sitting back up straight. Well done. Sit really far forward in your chair and we'll release the hips, the base of the spine, just as we take some sort of windscreen wiper movement with knees from side to side at the front of the chair there. Well done. But going back to the hips for a moment, we'll try and take a slightly hip opening exercise. So move away your block or your book for a moment. So feet come to the floor, sitting quite far forward in the chair. And then raising that right leg, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh. You might already begin to feel this in the hip. If this is too intense for you, just sit this exercise out. If you have any big hip issues, or you've recently had a hip replacement anytime in the last 6 weeks, or have been advised against this exercise, just sit this one out, take a break. Otherwise, sitting up really nice and straight, keep those right toes flexed up towards your knee. This might be fine for you to stay sitting here as you breathe and notice where you feel that stretch in the right hip. Otherwise, if you want a deeper stretch here, begin to lean forward with a nice flat, straight spine, drawing the tummy in to give you space and keeping the spine straight. Notice how that changes that stretch for you. Lovely. You can really go as far forward as feels comfortable for you here. Again, if it begins to feel painful in that hip, just draw slightly up out of that. And then inhale to draw yourself up. Right, let's give a bit of love to this foot. If you can reach it, just give a massage to your foot. We rarely give our feet much attention. And so just giving the toes a massage, the sole of that foot. And then help that leg down, and we'll do that on the other side. Bringing that left ankle up to cross the right thigh. Make yourself comfortable and then draw those left toes up, really flex them up towards the knee, just protecting all of the muscles around this knee. Sitting up nice and straight, allowing that left hip to open. That might be enough intensity for you, but if you want more, lean forward, pivoting from the hips almost with a really flat back. Coming forward in the chair, leaning forward as far as feels good for you. You'll notice that intense stretch there in that left hip. Take a few deep breaths. Almost imagine that you're sending your breath into that left hip there that's opening. When we hold a stretch like this for a good few breaths, the fascia, which is the covering for all of our joints, our muscles down there, we're working on that, releasing tension, allowing greater flexibility to come into that joint. Inhale, draw yourself back up to center, releasing that foot down to the ground. Let's take another few of those windscreen wiper movements with the knees. Well done. And then bring your big book, if you were resting your feet on that block or the book, just bring that back underneath the feet. Make that real connection between the soles of the feet and the ground again. Lift your toes up and see if you can spread them as separately as you can there. And then bring your arms down alongside your body, palms face forward, sitting up nice and straight, opening up this space in the chest, feeling the crown of the head lifting up towards the ceiling, just having palms open, fingers spread wide, palms face forward. Take a big breath in and release the shoulders as you release the breath. Take a couple of breaths here, just in this strong sitting pose. And if you would like to close down your eyes or really soften your gaze, you can do that, helping yourself to come back into that place of inner focus. You might even like to repeat the word relax to yourself as you breathe out. There's always the option to stand and take this mountain pose standing if you wish. Lovely. On your next in-breath, just raise the arms up wide overhead, look up towards them. As you breathe out, bring palms together down towards the heart center and sit there for a moment, another couple of breaths, keeping that inward focus going. Draw shoulders away from ears even as you sit here like this, with the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Another breath in, arms wide and up, look up. As you breathe out, hands back down to heart center, and a couple of rounds of that breath there. Inhale, exhale. If you need to make these circles smaller for your shoulders, then do that, that's fine. We're listening to our individual bodies as we practice this morning. So inhaling a small or a big circle, keeping that breath and inner focus going. Much more important than what we actually look like, what version of this movement we're taking here. Breathing out, draw the hands back to heart center, and then find stillness for our breath. Lovely. The next time we're going to push our hands away from us, arms stretching out to the side, palms face up. Might have gone a bit wide for the screen here. But stretching the palms away from us, almost as if we're pushing two walls away. Hold that for a couple of breaths. Relax the shoulders and notice how that changes that sensation of feeling a stretch in your arms there. As you sit here like this, just for another breath or two, draw the tummy muscles in, protecting your lower spine as you're sitting up straight here. It really is those core muscles which protect your lumbar lower spine as you sit in an upright position. Lovely. Release the hands to the laps. We held that for quite a while, so take a couple of shoulder rolls there in either direction. Lovely. And then this time bring arms up alongside you. Bend at the elbows, palms face forward. Taking a breath in to draw elbows back and shoulder blades together at the back of the body. And then as you breathe out, bringing forearms together, palms together. Breathing in, opening, really Really squeezing the shoulder blades together, breathing out, drawing them back towards each other. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Intentionally press the forearms, the palms together. One more. And exhale. This time release the left hand down and bring that right arm across the front of the body. Palm face towards the back of the room. You can bring up that left hand and draw that upper arm towards you, opening out the whole of this outside of the shoulder. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then release that, or take that on the other side. So that left arm coming across the front of the body, using that right hand to just draw that upper arm in, opening up that left shoulder. A couple of big deep breaths. Well done. And then release that. We'll raise that right arm up above us and then drop the hand down behind us. So two options here. We can just use that left hand to just gently push back and open that right upper arm, or bring it across the top of the head, drawing that elbow back. Or going for a full version of this, I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Send that left arm out to the side, bring it down and up behind you, so that it looks like this. And your hands are working towards each other. So you may be able to hold grasp fingertips, but if you can't do that, if you're laughing at me right now, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that, you're saying. Just take hold of your top, your t-shirt, whatever you're wearing, one hand at the bottom, one hand at the top, and then draw elbows away from each other. So you're opening up this whole front of the chest here. You can stay seated to do this, but you'll have to be away from the back of your chair, so sitting forward. And then opening up that front of the body. Don't forget, the gentler form of this is just to draw that top arm back. One more breath here, and then release that. Take a couple of shoulder rolls, and we'll do that on the other side. So left arm comes up overhead, left hand down behind the head. Either just drawing, pushing, helping that upper arm back away from us, that elbow, or bringing that right arm down behind us and up to grab hold of your t-shirt, opposite hands if you can, and opening up the front of the body there. Taking a couple of breaths and imagining you're sending your breath into that whole front chest, that area between the collarbones which is opening up. Lovely. And then release that. Couple of big shoulder rolls just to release any tension there. Well done. And then we're going to, let's bring hands to heart center there, just at the front, sitting up nice and straight, reminding yourself to draw the core muscles in, protecting your lower back. Inhale, sending arms wide and up. Exhale as we draw them back to heart center. Find this bigger movement or as small circles as feels right for you. Drawing them back to heart center. Well done. Sending the arms out wide this time with palms face down. So we stretched our arms out with palms face up as if we were pushing away from us. This time we're going to have palms down. So our hands are hanging here, but we're really drawing them in. And actually we're going to make fists there. So squeezing in the fingers and then releasing them. Squeezing in the fingers and then release them. Squeezing in and release. Connecting your breath to this. Then stretching hands out and taking some golf ball size circles with these arms. Just small circles. If it suits you to increase the size, do that, but be careful of your shoulders here. We'll reverse the direction. Well done. And then relax the arms. Bring the hands back into the lap. Take a couple of breaths just to release any tension in the shoulders. Well done. And then palms face up. One more exercise just for this whole area here. So palms face up as if you're holding a dish in front of you. Elbows bent in close to the body. Sit up nice and straight. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Your tummy is drawn in. As you inhale, widen the palms out aside for you. Draw elbows back, shoulder blades together. Shoulders down and away from ears. Exhaling, bring hands back together and release that feeling of tension. Inhale. Exhale, bring hands back together, release the tension. Inhale. And exhale. And release the hands to the lap again. One more big breath in as you draw shoulders right up towards the ears. And then release them. So still sitting up nice and straight, a little bit of release for the neck. Begin to take some circles with the nose. So just small, slow circles to begin with. Feeling into all those nooks and crannies in the neck. And then if it feels comfortable for you, you can increase the size of the circles. You might like to close down your eyes as you do this and connect your breath to this movement. So perhaps breathing in as you come up and breathing out as your head comes back down the other side. Slow it down, and then the next time that your chin is down at your chest, we'll just leave it there for a moment. Sitting up straight but feeling that length in the back of the neck there. So you drop your chin to the chest. And then begin to circle back in the other direction. Just take a few tiny circles to begin with, allowing the chin to come up slowly. Feeling back into the neck as you maybe increase the size of those circles. Keep the breath going. Closing down your eyes and really connecting your breath to this movement is a good way to draw that inner focus inward that we talked about at the beginning. One more breath, and then the next time that your chin is down at your chest, no rush to get there, but just leave it there for a moment. Remind your shoulders to come away from your ears. Feel the length in the back of your neck. Draw the tummy in, just protecting the lower back. And then inhale, raising the gaze forward again. Begin to drop that right ear down towards the right shoulder. So rather than lifting up the shoulders, have relaxed shoulders here as you sit up straight. That right ear coming down towards that right shoulder. If you like, you can stretch left fingertips away from you, and that will intensify that feeling of stretch down that whole left-hand side of the neck. Big breaths, keep going with that breath as you enjoy this stretch. And then if you want a more intense stretch, you can bring that right arm up and over the head. Just deepening that stretch down the left-hand side of the neck. If that feels too intense, leave that right arm on the lap. And we're not pulling on the head here, just allowing the natural weight of the arm to draw the head down. Relax the right shoulder. You can change this stretch slightly if you like by just shifting that hand back and allowing the chin to come down towards the armpit. So just notice how that changes the feeling of that stretching for the neck. If you enjoy that, then do that. If it was working better for you with just your head, your gaze forward, come back to that. And releasing that arm, you may even like to use that hand to bring the head back up to center, just treating your neck quite gently. Take a few nods of the head, just to release any tension in the neck. And then we'll allow the left ear to drop down towards the left shoulder. Relaxing, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Maybe stretching that right arm out away from you. And if you enjoyed that on the other side, then you can bring that left arm up and over the head. Might feel quite different on this side, so we're not symmetrical. We may have injuries one side or be stiffer on one side than the other. That's fine. Just part of yoga is noticing that. Being on this learning practice, learning about our bodies as we practice. We're taking a few deep breaths here. Again, maybe seeing by dropping the chin down towards the chest slightly, changing that stretch for the neck. Just finding where that good spot is for your neck to stretch out. And then as you inhale, releasing that, bring that head gently back up to the center. Take a few nods of the head there. And then inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears. Hold them there for a breath. As you breathe out, draw them back towards each other and then down the back of the body. Inhale, hold them there. Next exhale, draw them back, elbows back, shoulder blades down the back of the body. And then take a breath or two, just sitting, maybe closing down your eyes, looking down at the ground in front of you and noticing how your body feels after moving like this morning. We'll take one more release for the body, the spine, before we come into our relaxation. So sending the feet wide. If you're still sitting forward on your chair, well done. But send the feet wide here, so knees come out to the side. And we're going to begin to take some circles for the spine here. So again, as everything, make these as gentle, small, as feels right for your body and your spine. Drawing in these core muscles to protect your lower spine. And then really making these movements as big or small. If you're feeling really flexible in your spine this morning and you're enjoying this movement, you can lead with your shoulders, making bigger circles. But it might be that you want to make quite small, gentle circles this morning. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing in as you come forward. Breathing out as you come back. Lovely. The next time that you come forward and you've breathed in, just stay there for a moment. Really draw your core muscles in and reach forward. Maybe even look up between your hands. Press down into the feet. Straight spine as you reach forward and look up between your hands. And then bring hands back to the lap, and what would it take some circles back in the other direction. This requires you to remember which direction you were going in before, but don't worry if you can't. You won't be walking around lopsided all day if you do the same circling direction twice. Lovely. So a few more bigger circles if that feels right for your spine and your hips. And then we'll take that leaning forward again. So you're leaning forward. The next time you come forward, press into the feet, into the ground. Feel your legs beginning to engage. Draw your tummy muscles in. Stretch arms forward and up and look between the hands. As you feel that engagement in the back of the body, in your legs, in your shoulders. Well done. One more breath as we hold this here. And then release. And release the back to the back of the chair. Bring feet together out in front of you and stretch arms overhead. Really feeling the length down the whole front of the body. You might even like to look up towards your hands. Take a breath in, and as you release that, come into a more relaxed sitting position in your chair. So feet can be out ahead of you, legs a little more relaxed. If you want to take a few of those windscreen wiper movements with the knees to release the hips, do that. Any more movement for the head or the neck or the shoulders that feels comfortable to you as you come into this relaxed position for our Shavasana, which is our resting pose at the end of our yoga practice. So allow the hands to rest in your lap. Drop the chin slightly down towards the chest, just so that you're not putting any effort into holding your head up here. And again, you might like to allow your eyes to close or your gaze to really soften. And then relax your shoulders. We've worked hard on the shoulders and the upper arms today, the chest. Allow those muscles to completely relax. Screw up your hands into a ball and then allow them to just relax and rest in your lap. Allow all your core muscles that we've been working on as well to totally rest. You might like to take a big breath in and a sigh out, and then allow your breath to be gentle. And enjoy a few moments of complete rest. Allowing your body to melt into the chair and the ground. Just a moment of silence. And then I will bring us out of this resting pose in just a moment. And begin to notice if you can hear any sounds in the room that you're in, or maybe even the sound of your own breath again, as it deepens again slightly. Begin to tune into sounds outside the room that you're in, perhaps. Take a few deeper breaths and then begin to invite some movement back into the body. Wiggle the fingers, lift the toes, maybe turn the head from side to side. Just waking up the body gradually and then building up to that big stretch. You can keep your eyes closed if you had them closed before. Big breath in, and then as you breathe out, come to sitting back up reasonably straight in your chair again, just to finish our practice. Gaze is down at the ground or eyes still closed. You can bring your palms together just to finish the practice this morning. Pressing palms lightly together. If you prefer just to have your hands resting in your lap, then feel free to do that. But just take a really big breath in and a sigh out. Relax the shoulders. Drop the chin to the chest and feel that length in the back of the neck again. But open the chest out. Lift the sternum up towards the thumbs if you have your palms together. And then take that final moment of stillness before we go back into the rest of the day. Thank you so much. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you. If you have any questions about the class or anything that you particularly enjoyed or didn't enjoy or would like to see more of, then please send us a wee message. It's been lovely to have you all here this morning. Thank you. And hope you're all doing well. I think we have a group chat this morning for people who want some sense of community as well. Maybe send a message to, I think they may have just posted the Zoom link to that. So if you're going to join us for that, I'll be there for that. It'll be lovely to see you. You can chat about the class or anything else. And have a great day. Enjoy your days. And yeah, keep going. See you next week. Bye bye, everybody.